Howdy guys. Thanks for giving a click and tuning in to the video. This is something that I've had an idea for a little bit of time now, and I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a shot. I've really enjoyed ASMR content for these past couple years, and I realized that it could be fun to give it a shot and try some, so that's what I'm doing today. I decided to combine it with something else that I really love. I know that this is probably incredibly niche, and I'm not sure if anybody will even find these, but if you do happen to find them, and even if you're not entirely entranced by the topic, I hope you happen to gain some relaxation from it in any way that you do. So with that being said, welcome to the very first video of Reclaimer ASMR. The UNSC Pillar of Autumn was a Halcyon-class light cruiser in the UNSC Navy. It was informally referred to as the Autumn, and in some cases, the Pillar. It was the sister ship of the UNSC Dawn Under Heaven and UNSC Toulouse. Prior to the fall of Reach, Pillar of Autumn was selected to support Operation Red Flag, a Spartan II mission to capture Covenant leaders. Captain Jacob Keyes was placed in command. The operation was forestalled by the Covenant assault on Reach. The cruiser carried some of the few UNSC survivors and fled the system, having lost most of its intended Spartan II passengers. The cruiser was guided to the Sewell system by the smart AI Cortana. There, it was engaged by a Covenant fleet guarding Installation 04. Keyes crash-landed the ship on the installation, where the surviving crew continued the battle against the Covenant, and later, the Flood. The ship's sole remaining combat-effective Spartan II, John 117, was forced to destabilize the Autumn's fusion reactor, destroying both the ship and the ring world to prevent the installation from being fired. UNSC Pillar of Autumn was constructed at the Reyes-McLeish shipyards on Mars. The ship began construction in 2507 and was launched on December 1st, 2510. During the Battle for Arcadia in February 2531, Pillar of Autumn engaged two Ket pattern battlecruisers alongside the UNSC Belfast, UNSC Texas, and UNSC Armstrong. Along with three other ships, Pillar of Autumn destroyed the battlecruiser designated CCS-U321 after catching it with its shields down, but the battlecruiser designated CCS-U624 was able to make it to the surface of Arcadia. In the battle between the UNSC and Covenant forces, Pillar of Autumn was badly damaged, along with Armstrong, while Texas and Belfast were destroyed. Upon the arrival of the UNSC Spirit of Fire, the smart AI Serena reported on these events to Captain James Cutter. Later in the battle, at the request of the Spirit of Fire, Pillar of Autumn contributed several M145D Rhinos to the ground battle, enabling Spirit of Fire's forces to take down a Covenant energy shield. The cruiser was decommissioned with the remaining Halcyon-class light cruisers, but was reactivated as the war worsened. Pillar of Autumn was pulled from a long-term storage and was refitted in 2550 to serve as an emergency support ship in a conflict near Zeta Doradus. By 2552, it was obvious to the UNSC that the war could not be ended with conventional military action. A desperate plan, known as Operation Red Flag, was conceived to end the war by capturing Covenant leaders and forcing the enemy to the negotiating table. A colony world would be sacrificed to the Covenant to allow Spartan II commandos to board and disable a Covenant ship, locate the Covenant homeworld, and abduct the targets. Pillar of Autumn was selected on August 25th by the AI Cortana to disable an enemy ship and deliver the Spartans aboard. The ship was selected for the Halcyon class's durability, despite its class's usual lackluster offensive capabilities. Command of the ship was given to Captain Jacob Keyes. The cruiser received another refit designed by senior engineer Adam Crockett for the new mission, including a state-of-the-art fusion power plant and improved weaponry. Furthermore, the command bridge was upgraded with a Tier 3 data core to house Cortana, and the drop pod base were significantly expanded. After the refit, Cortana was transferred to handle the shakedown. Pillar of Autumn was prepared to deploy on August 30th. However, before it could depart the Epsilon Eridani system, it was called to reach. The UNSC fleet was mustering in preparation for an imminent Covenant attack on the planet. However, Cortana remained in control as the ship's normally assigned AI was not yet operational. At the opening of the battle, the Pillar of Autumn was engaged by a Ruma pattern light carrier and quickly destroyed it with its modified MAC gun. It was hoped an opportunity to capture an enemy ship would present itself. However, the course of the battle forced the Spartans to deploy on other missions. Blue Team went to Reach's Gamma Station to enforce the Cole Protocol, while Red Team went planetside to reinforce the orbital defense generators. While the cruiser performed well, the battle was lost as the orbital defense platforms fell silent. There was only time to recover the remnants of Blue Team and a Marine Fire Team led by Avery Johnson that was also on board Gamma Station, before the ship was forced to flee the system. During the battle over Reach, the Pillar of Autumn attacked and destroyed a Covenant sniper ship in single combat. This prototype vessel was responsible for the destruction of many powerful UNSC warships. The unlikely victory of the Pillar of Autumn, for a brief moment, left her as one of the most successful and resilient ships in the Navy. However, the ship was heavily damaged in the fight, and its main reactor was rendered inoperable. At some point during the conflict, the Pillar of Autumn executed a Class L flash dock, landing at the Azad shipbreaking yards, to rescue any survivors on the planet and retrieve a package which the remnants of Noble Team were tasked with delivering. During the battle, as Noble Team approached, the Pillar of Autumn used its point defense guns to help clear the skies and sent forces into the dry docks to hold them. When Noble 6 and Emil 8239 arrived, Emil manned an Onager mass driver set up by the UNSC forces to hold off the Covenant air support. After the UNSC forces took out Covenant attackers on a landing platform, Keyes personally led a Pelican to get the package. However, Emil was killed by a Sangili zealot, and a Ket pattern battlecruiser arrived to prevent the Pillar of Autumn from escaping. Using the mass driver, Noble 6 destroyed the battlecruiser, and the Pillar of Autumn was able to escape into space using R7 thrust couplings. The Pillar of Autumn was supposed to have made a random slip space jump in accordance with the Cole Protocol. However, Cortana surreptitiously guided the ship to the Soel system, and ultimately to Installation 04 instead. The AI used coordinates obtained from two Forerunner artifacts, one on Sigma Octantis 4, and one underneath Reach. The Covenant pursued along the carrier's exit vector, and arrived at Soel first with a battle group of Ket pattern battlecruisers. Pillar of Autumn was almost immediately engaged upon arriving at Threshold. The Prophet of Stewardship, who feared stray plasma torpedo fire might damage the holy artifact, ordered the boarding and capture of the cruiser. Fleetmaster Thelvatamy ignored this order and returned fire aggressively. Even so, the Autumn was able to destroy 4 ships and damage Truth and Reconciliation before Borders disabled its magnetic accelerator cannon with an antimatter charge. Captain Keyes ordered the crew to abandon ship. John 117 was given Cortana for safekeeping and ordered to keep the AI out of enemy hands. The crew left the ship for the ring in whatever craft were available, and the cryopods were jettisoned. keys directed Pillar of Autumn on a course to crash land on the ring. The Covenant finally began hitting the ship with plasma torpedoes, but the cruiser survived the landing reasonably intact, though damaged beyond repair. The Covenant soon swarmed the ship and installed a security detail of 2 Banshees and 6 Ghosts to patrol the ship. Though a massive raid led by Lieutenant Melissa McKay unseated the Covenant from the ship temporarily, allowing the survivors to transfer supplies from the ship to Alpha Base. The release of the Flood added an unexpected dimension to the battle. Monitor 343 Guilty Spark was prepared to fire the installation in response to the outbreak. In conjunction with the entire Halo array, this would wipe out all sentient life in the galaxy. John 117 and Cortana returned to Pillar of Autumn to destroy the ring by detonating the still-functioning fusion reactors. An attempt to activate the cruiser's self-destruct from the bridge failed due to 343 Guilty Spark's interference. The Spartan was forced to manually destabilize the reactors with tactical ordnance. John 117 and Cortana escaped the subsequent detonation of the ring aboard a longsword fighter, still docked in Launch Bay 7. Pillar of Autumn exploded moments after their escape, blowing up a segment of the ring, causing the entire Halo to fall apart, ultimately destroying Installation 04. The detonation itself left a huge crater, almost covering the entire width of the installation itself. The Autumn-class heavy cruiser, which entered service as a replacement for the Marathon class after the Covenant War, was partially designed after the refitted Pillar of Autumn. Due to the instrumental role the Autumn played in the war, the lead ship of the new class was named UNSC Pillar of Autumn 2 in honor of the original. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. As my very first ASMR content, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of room for me to improve. I've never really felt like it was easy for me to lower my voice or to speak in a hushed tone, so I apologize if my voice is harsh in some areas, but I assume it's something that'll get better with time and with more practice. I'm really looking forward to making more videos like this, and although this one was kind of short, I guess it really served as a proof of concept for me as well. I want to give a big shout out to halopedia.org, the community-held catalog for a whole bunch of Halo information, which is more than likely where I'm going to be getting a lot of my information from for these videos. Again, I just want to say thank you to you guys. Hopefully this turns into something really cool and has its own community of its own one day. But for now, I will leave you with that. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.